Hey there folks, and welcome to this video. This one here is a preview for Rally Portugal, the 4th round of the 2021 WRC season. It's weird to think that we're at round 4 in May. It makes me think back to the mid-late 90s when you only had a handful of rounds for Championship because they had the alternating calendars. But yeah, the first gravel rally is in May. That said, the first gravel rally was typically Mexico, round 3 for the past however long now. But of course, that was usually in March. But it'll be a sense of familiarity for drivers who've had almost anything but for the last year or so. The majority of these stages are stages that have been run before. Maybe some slight changes here or there, but the likes of Argonil and Faf are almost legendary in the WRC, especially Argonil when you think of the stories of Ultra from years way gone by. But it's also a sense of familiarity for a couple of other reasons. Despite the fact that Portugal didn't run last year, the roads in Portugal have been seen to a lot of shakedown rallies in the past. So typically there'll be rallies such as around Faf itself, and they were favourites for WRC competitors looking to get themselves ready for rallying in Portugal, because typically there'd be a bit of a break between the previous gravel round in Mexico and Portugal. I mean, I remember there were debates when Hyundai started doing it. I think that must have been around 2018, 2019, when they bring in their people to do a couple of practice events in Portugal. And in fact, the winner in the first round of the Portuguese Championship was Ole Christian Baby, who's going to be in one of the I-20s this time out. So it's, yeah, unsurprising, of course, the I-20 being an I-20 R5, but we have seen, I think, the likes of Danny Sordo and Oid Tanak competing there in the past. Speaking of, in the Hyundai World Rally cars, the third one is Danny Sordo. I think it's his first start with Boya Rosada, the new co-driver that he has for this campaign. But we also do see Lube in the 4th one. That said, I believe we're stepping back up to 5 for the next round in Sardinia, because I think Oliver Solberg is going to be getting back behind the wheel of the World Rally car. But elsewhere, we will be seeing, again, 2 Fiestas, and it'll be the same lineup as we saw in Croatia with Adrian Formeau and Gus Greensmith. Formeau impressing massively on his debut last time out. Could he be able to improve again? And on gravel as well. This is one of the things, like, Croatia was an all-new event, so it was a brilliant place for him to start. New car, new event. He didn't have the thing of everybody's got experience. But here, he's up against, I think, the only one who's not got World Rally Car experience out of the people he's up against is Lube. And Lube would have had it last season, because this was going to be where his first rally in a World Rally Car was. Of course, Rally Portugal didn't happen last year, but it was going to be the 2C competition of Lube and Padden. And they were both going to be in Portugal. Wow, how much has changed over the course of a year. But yeah, with his teammate Gus Greensmith, he had his first rally in a World Rally car here in Portugal. Did end particularly well for Gus with a crash, well, a couple of crashes, but the most notable one over the Faf jump on the final stage, the power stage. But as for the battles up at the top, well, I mean, we've got OJ and Evans close to the title battle. You've got Neville right behind, and don't rule out Tanak or even Rovanperä, despite his non-finish last time out. And remember, we've got Katsuta in that 4th Yaris. If you look at the WRC2, we don't have an Andreas Mikkelsen. He's withdrawn after a positive test for coronavirus. But we do have Balacha Wilkinson. And outside of that, in WRC2, we still have Lappi, we have Gryazin, we have Suninen, we have Ostberg. We have Camely, we have Baby, we have Martin Prokop in a Rally 2 Fiesta. That's going to be awesome to see. And also, by the looks of things, you've got Jörg Linnemey in a Polo, you've got Oliver Solberg, and you've got, I think Tom Christensen is seen as entered in a Ford Fiesta. WRC3's got a bit of a who's who. You've got Rossel, Tiemann, Kajtanovic, Carr, Lindholm, Ingram, who, like Vaby, was competing in the Rally Terrace Double Barrier. You've got Zaldivar, who is going to be starting with Carlos Del Barrio, former co-driver of Danny Sordo, alongside. And you've also got a list of Portuguese competitors. The likes of Armindo Araújo, for example, are kind of flash from the past, but you do also have other entries that you've seen here before, the likes of Jan Solans, Alberto Heller, and we also have JWRC. Will John Armstrong repeat his performance from Croatia? And if we think back 2 years, it will be almost 2 years today. I think it's give or take a week since we last did a rally in Portugal by the time that we are starting on the stages. It was Oyt Tanak taking a win from Thierry Neuville with Ogier in third, and the winning gap was 16 seconds. With those two people now in the Hyundais, and Ogier having switched from Citroen to Toyota in that time, could we see any kind of change in fortunes? Could we see Elfyn Evans stepping up, having changed from the Fiesta to the Yaris? I don't really know, because if you remember, we had all kinds of odd tactics happening in that final power stage in 2019. We had, for example, Danny Sordo asked to slow, so he'd kick up dust and distract Chris Meek. Though in the end, Chris Meek lost his wheel at the start of the power stage, and that rendered him out of the event. I really don't know what is going to happen, and I think it's going to be very hard to guess. I would like to think that we'll see a three-way battle between our main protagonists, but I wouldn't rule out Rovanperä, even though he hasn't got World Rally Car experience in Portugal. I wouldn't rule out Evans, because, well, the man's fast, and he's fast on gravel. His first win was at home in Wales, and it's just going to be another way that, even though this rally is going to be so familiar, there are going to be so many more new different things. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your predictions in the comment section down below, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.